The Super Over Podcast.
With me, JP Duminy.
And it's me, Jemimah Rodrigues.
All right, here we are again. Welcome to the Super Over Podcast. Liam Flint here. We've got former South African all-rounder JP Duminy, so you know him by now. And I'm going to give this next woman the real talk-up she deserves. I think this is the future of the Indian women's cricket team.
Future captain, Baba.
Jemimah Rodrigues joins us once again. And then all the way from sunny Brisbane, we have Australia's official Test Player of the Year, which is an amazing title. We have...
Wait for it.
We have Marnus Labuschagne and JP Labuschagne.
I think that's going to be the biggest conversation today. How do we pronounce your name?
That's it.
Tell us about what it's like to have two surnames, please.
Yeah, well, I mean, when we moved over here when I was 9, I went to school, and obviously majority of the people in my grade, couldn't say my last name. So it was kind of inevitable just to move the name from Afrikaans to English, or how it's pronounced in English. And the same sort of happened as I started playing, more for Australia and for Queensland and through the cricket ranks. So it was kind of just the natural progression of how to pronounce it. Obviously, when you go to South Africa, everyone wants to say Labuschagne. But, it's probably more now renowned now, or people know me more as Labuschagne than they do, because obviously I'm from Australia.
Yeah.
JP is giving Liam and myself lessons from the last 5 episodes. Like, no, you pronounce it like this and not like that. But till now, we have not got it right. So, yeah.
Yeah, the interesting thing about that is, so my first experience in the combox for Supersport was actually first ODI, Australia versus South Africa in Paarl. And I couldn't make up my mind which version I needed to say on air. So like I was sitting with Sean Pollock, and he will say Labuschagne, I will say Labuschagne, and it was like just whatever's top of mind, and we like jumbled through it. So it's quite a funny story actually. We couldn't understand which way to do it.
Wow.
What do you prefer? Is there a preference?
I think just Labuschagne is just, as in the preference, just it's easier. It's more majority. I mean, we've lived over here now for 15 years.
Yeah.
So it's sort of that's where I've grown up majority of the time now. So Labuschagne's probably the more known one now.
Yeah.
Your family, in terms of their accent, I would guess that your parents would be still very strong South African.
Yeah, 100%. So the only reason I speak like I do now is because I didn't know how to speak English when I came here. So I didn't know a word of English. So I only spoke Afrikaans.
Wow.
Okay.
So when I learnt English, I learnt Australian English. So I went to primary school at Bailey Park in Potch till grade 3. And then I went into grade 5 here in English. So hence
what was that transition like?
In classroom, not great. Not great. Especially like you think counting in Afrikaans. So you think counting in Afrikaans, like 56 is 56. You say it the other way around.
The other way around.
So you just imagine that in class from grade 5 on. Like it was shambles.
I can just imagine Marnus, how do you pronounce 65? 5, 6.
Yeah, exactly. That part was difficult, but the actual social interaction side was a lot easier, because I think you don't necessarily need to speak fluent English, but people can kind of understand what you're doing by your actions and stuff.
Yeah.
So that part wasn't hard. And then obviously moving into high school, I think those things were always tougher, like the English. Not necessarily maths as I got older, but definitely English was was difficult in terms of learning it in classroom.
So if you go out for dinner and you make a reservation, this is how we're going to tell whether he's telling the truth or not. What name would you give on the reservation? What pronunciation?
Oh, Labuschagne.
Okay, so he's 100% Aussie now. South Africa, he's left behind.
JP's very sad right now.
Yeah, JP's leaving the call.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a bit disappointing. But anyway, what was it like for you coming back to South Africa and obviously representing Australia? Obviously a big moment in your life, but what was it like coming back to South Africa and playing in front of South African crowds?
Yeah, it was very weird. I mean, the lead up was quite. I was always I was like, geez, I wonder how's it going to be. I mean, my most nervous moment was when I actually met Sean Pollock on the middle of the pitch. I was like,
oh, wow.
Man, this is the guy I used to watch literally every game. I have a picture which actually, is it here? No, it's not. Sorry, I thought the picture was here somewhere, but of me and Sean Pollock at Bloemfontein when I was like 2 or like 1.
Oh wow.
So like that was one of the most nerves. I was like, oh man, that's Sean Pollock. Like, how good's that?
Yeah.
So like those things are weird now that obviously the position I'm in now. You're like, geez, that's so strange. And obviously both my parents went to university at Potch, so that's where they met. So to play in Potch in front of pretty much all my family and friends, and came from everywhere to come watch. It was very special. So it's a little bit nerve-wracking, especially after I got a duck in Bloemfontein. I was like, geez, this is not going well. This is not what you're after. So going out to bat, and I'm like, geez, just Norkia's running in. I'm like, just get off the mark. That'd be a good start. So it was definitely a surreal moment to play over there, and it was very exciting. So yeah, it was very special.
So you know that we possess certain talents in this crew. Musical talents, right? So I'm a singer. But we've got a quite a special, talented guitarist and singer in Jemmy, and she's got a new show coming up actually. So Jemmy, what's that all about? I think it's tomorrow. You're starting, or you're airing tomorrow?
Come on, Jemmy.
So we're trying to get it out on Tuesday. So I think next week it's when it's going to come out. So since my teammates, Prati Mandana, she called me one day and she was like, why don't we start the show? Because everyone's at home, everyone's in the lockdown, and, we can do something productive and something fruitful. So I was like, okay, why not? We can try it out. So our show's name is Double Trouble.
Says it all, eh?
Yeah, does what it says on the tin.
So basically, it's just like a fun conversation. Different athletes, not just in cricket, but, in badminton and tennis, like all other sports. So it's never happened in India, like, 2 athletes interviewing other athletes. So this is something really exciting, and, it's going to be a lot of fun. So looking forward to it, man.
It's going to go viral.
That's awesome.
I hope it goes well.
If it doesn't, I'll get JP on my show.
Yeah, man.
I would recommend that.
Sell some records. So Marnus, what's life like in Australia, particularly during this coronavirus time? I was actually seeing Kevin Peterson actually posted a graph on his Instagram about the sort of coronavirus curve, and it seems as though the curve is dropping dramatically in Australia. You guys have been doing quite a lot of good things there. What's the feeling like at the moment?
Yeah, I think I'm no expert, so this is just sort of the feel and sort of a little bit of the stuff I've been reading. But I don't know in Queensland, but I know yesterday we only had about 2 new cases. So in terms of cases per day, we're right down. And pretty much we're in sort of, I think, stage 3 lockdown, which is no one outside. So you can meet up with one other person outside your sort of regular meeting, go for walks, physical exercise and that. There's still a few sort of activities. I think I'm playing some tennis here and there. Singles tennis is still available and able to be played. So there's a few things that's still being able to be done. But I think, the benefit of Australia is we've locked down the borders and everything, and we got the jump on it a little bit. So it didn't really get that sort of widespread. So the feeling here is, from me personally, is is quite exciting that that we've really got on top of it. I think there was still talk about yesterday the Prime Minister saying nothing will change really for 4 weeks. So to try and really see if we can get that number right down to hopefully 0, and then talk about what's sort of next from there.
Are you a guy who handles and copes well with being inside, or are you literally climbing the walls right now?
No, definitely not. I think the key for me is just to have some sort of routine. So I'm playing a lot of tennis at the moment. So both my roommates, we've got into tennis. We're all playing heaps. I'm playing as much as I can, probably a couple hours a day. And then in the gym and doing running, and then, in the other spare time, you're doing stuff around the house here and there. And if I get it's a bit itchy and I want to hit some balls, I've got a dog thrower that my mate throws me some taped up tennis balls in the backyard on a mat. So yeah, just staying busy and trying to stay nice and fit and healthy to make sure that, once this thing's come out the other end, ready to go. Because you can imagine that the schedule, once this flips on the other end, is going to be quite packed.
Yeah.
For you and Jemmy, it's going to be crazy. Everyone's going to try and pack everything into the next 6 months with all the major tournaments coming up already anyway. Yeah. Jemmy, what's the picture looking like in Mumbai?
So the lockdown has extended now in Mumbai. In India. So a few people have not taken it that well. They're like, no, we need to go out. We need to do this and that. But, the government and everybody is like trying to do their best to cut down as many, this thing as possible. So it's just that now people are trying, understanding, okay, we really need to take this seriously. Whatever the government is doing is for our benefit at the end. They are going to get nothing by us sitting at home.
Yeah.
So basically it's that. And so I just hope everybody takes it in the right way, man, and understands and stays at home, because it's just a few more days. Then we all hopefully will be out soon.
Yeah. You guys, what's the state there? I know your prime minister has caught the virus.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What's going on there?
Yeah, there's loads of top dogs who keep coming down with it over here. So that's not great for trying to manage things from... I think he was in intensive care in the end, but he's out now and he's fine.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
So on that front, it's good. But yeah, we just seem to be reacting pretty slowly. Like you said, things in Australia seem to be doing all right. People in India are taking it seriously. And they've got a ridiculous amount of people as well. So that's really impressive. Yeah. So I think, maybe we've just not taken it serious enough, or we delayed it a bit long with the lockdown. But we've got another 3 weeks coming up.
Has the amount of cases has dropped still, though, although it's still a very high number.
Yeah.
And same with amount of deaths as well, I think. Has that dropped?
Yeah, it's coming down. The graph is coming down, but it's quite slow.
Yeah.
And the fact that we've had 3 weeks of sun here, which obviously being in Brisbane, Cape Town, Mumbai, you're like, what? But for us, everybody just goes mental. So that's really not helped.
I was meant to be there tomorrow. It was meant to be
that's right.
round 1 versus Middlesex.
Glamorgan.
Yeah, Glamorgan versus Middlesex.
Back to Wales.
Fire Gardens.
India was supposed to tour England too. I think in April or the next month. But it's lockdown now.
Yeah, you were going to come over, Jem, weren't you?
Yeah, we were going to come over, yeah.
It's interesting, the cases in South Africa. We're hitting around the 2,700 mark now in terms of cases. But there's been some interesting conversations. And again, you don't know what's factual and what's not. There's talks around the peak in South Africa has not hit yet. So we're going up slowly in many ways. So we still got another 2 weeks left of lockdown, because it was extended for another 2 weeks. But we're not sure what's going to happen after that, because the economy has been hit massively here in South Africa.
Yeah.
In terms of rand to dollar and rand to pound, it's crazy to see what it's like at the moment. Yeah, so we're in for some interesting times, from a South African point of view.
Yeah, I think that's majority of the Australia, the economy, USA, everyone. The economy is definitely going to take some sort of hit. It's just sort of how do we propel ourselves out of it.
Yeah,
it's going to be a challenging time. Obviously post this as well, but I think like you said, we just got to continue to stay at home at this stage. That's about as much as we can do.
Were you a bit gutted, Marnus, that you couldn't come back to play for Glamorgan?
Devastated. I would love to be in Glamorgan right now. I know. You like not right now, considering the situation of everything. But definitely, I loved playing for Glamorgan last year. Hence why I signed another 2-year extension to continue to play there, because I really enjoyed it. I loved the team and everything there, and I really appreciated the opportunity that I got from them. I think they took a real punt on me, being sort of relatively unproven as an overseas, and that opportunity sort of gave me a whole heap of other opportunities, then which led to probably where I am now. So Yeah, no. So I loved it there, and bought myself a few nice coats and stuff that I was hoping that I could wear over there. And now they're going to have to be in the cupboard till a bit longer. So I don't know the status of county cricket either. So I don't know if it's pretty much a write off yet in terms of me going over there this year, or there's still a potential, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think county championship's going to struggle, but they were saying obviously Glamorgan. In the financial pressures all of those counties are under, if you take off like the Surreys and the Yorkshires, maybe the big counties, some of these counties could literally go out of business if we don't play. So I think they might do a late season or just try and congest it. But I mean, I'm sure you've all heard about the 100 kicking off this summer here, and everybody is desperate. They're saying if we don't have any cricket, make sure we play the 100 because we're trying to remarket the game. We've got big players, but yeah, the counties really need looking after. I'm sure it's the same with provinces in South Africa and all of the teams in India as well. The local teams are going to take a big hit.
Yeah, well, we're in off season now, so I guess that kind of helps in a way. Same for Australia, but hopefully we'll turn a corner at some point. But it's interesting to hear you say, Marnus, you're appreciative of the opportunity, particularly from Glamorgan. And I was just sitting here and thinking, like, the last 18 months for you has been the most amazing roller coaster ride. I think back to the Ashes in the UK and, just the way it all unfolded. I'd be interested to know or hear from your side, the sort of behind the scenes, how that unfolded. That must have been amazing.
Yeah, it really is. I'm getting goosebumps even. Just talking about it. It's very interesting. How it sort of unfolded. Amazing. Really, the way it's unfolded. It's really hard because you always think as a kid growing up, you're like, you want to play for your country at a really young age. You're always like, you envisage yourself. It doesn't always happen like that, and it doesn't always pan out. And then, then when it does unfold, well, at least a little bit, you're like, I could not have written it if I tried. I could not have written how the last 18 months panned out. And then, the other part is that people don't necessarily see all the stuff prior to that, like the 5 years playing in first class cricket, going through the ups and downs and stuff like that. So, the way that unfolded was, was really amazing. Obviously getting an opportunity through unforeseen circumstances, seeing Steve
that's an understatement.
go down the way he did. Yeah, and I mean, especially, I remember I was watching that spell from the boundary that whole afternoon because I was running coffees up for the boys. I was the 12th man, but I was the designated fielder, so I always had to be kitted up. So when we were fielding, I always had to be ready to go on the field. So I was sort of the one probably not doing the most, but always had the whites on ready to sort of help out where I could. And I remember watching, and I was sitting on the edge of my seat for that spell. You look at the board there at Lords, and you look left, and you're like 96.2. You're like, that is fast. That is fast. And then like there's a difference between seeing it on camera and then like I'm watching it and I'm like, that is a lightning bolt. And you look up and you're like, that's quick. And Steve's ducking and weaving here and pulling them, and it makes everything look easy anyway. So and then when he gets hit, you're like, you start having those thoughts come into your mind. You're like, is he all right? Is he going to be all right? Then you start going, okay, well, am I going to have to go and play now? Am I going to have to bat? And then pretty much all the thoughts go away, really. Once he comes back out, you're like, oh, he's all good. We're all good. False alarm.
Yeah. Back to the coffee.
We're all good. Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty. So that night, I actually ran home from the ground to the thing. So I jogged home. I jogged home from where were we staying? We're staying near Hyde Park. So I jogged home from the ground to Hyde Park. Got there, chilled out. I think me and my wife went for dinner somewhere or got Uber Eats. And then didn't really give it much thought, really. I remember I took Steve's bag to his room or dropped some stuff off. And then there was not really, for all reports, he was all right. So I went to the ground, woke up early because we had to go to the So me, Mitchell Stark, Michael Nessa, James Pattinson had to go in early to train, like for a training session. So facing them, the nets are spicy at Lords. They're a little bit uneven. And I think Patto got me out early too, just like railed one off my face, blew out my face. And then Painey rocks up to the nets and yells across, says, "Oh, hey, mate, I think you're playing." And I was like, "Well, you're the captain. What do you mean you think?" Like, "No, I think you're playing." And then Graham Hicks sort of walks down and goes, "Are you ready?" I said, "Yep, I'm getting out of this net right now." Because, Pattinson, Stark, they're both not playing either, so they're bowling a little bit faster. No side screen behind.
You want out of there.
This has just got broken finger written all over it. So, I pop out, and then it starts raining for 2 hours. So, we're playing Uno upstairs, me and Davey and a few of the other boys playing some cards. And then it sort of starts, and so it didn't really feel surreal till I actually had to bat, because I fielded the day before because Steve was off, he didn't field. But when I walked out to bat and you walk through the long room and people are going, like, they're expecting Steve coming out at 4.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Who the heck is this?"
trying to read your name, trying to read the back of your shirt.
They're kind of giving you these ones that, like, a slow clap, like, like, and then sort of the announcer announces it, and then from there it's sort of just all really a blur. You walk out there, your beans you're fired up, you're going, and then you're welcomed with a nice bouncer, to really get you going and fired up. And sometimes that's the best thing that can happen, because it really gets you probably watching the ball a little bit more, and it gets you up and ready to go.
The rest is literally history.
Yeah.
18 months later.
You don't have to say anything.
That's it, yeah. He's done. Jemmy, do you remember watching that from India? Do you remember watching the Ashes?
Honestly, I was not watching it because something I think we had practice or something going on. But suddenly I'm just seeing my Instagram score. I'm just scrolling and I'm like, "Who's this guy? Wait a minute." So after that I actually literally checked the scores. I'm like, okay, this is like a crazy way to come in and, make your debut and all that. And then to score so much, I mean, what mental strength you might have had, man. Like, it's something else to be prepared and going in, and something else to suddenly, the captain comes up to you and say, "Okay, you're going up next." And as you said, you were watching the game. They were bowling really quick in England. We know the wickets. So, I mean, that was crazy, man. Then after that, I was like,
"No, thank
wow.
you."
Yeah, I was following. Then after that, I was following for many more series and all the games. And I'm like, this guy is not stopping only.
Yeah, he never gets bored. Never gets bored.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's interesting you mentioned something there, Jem. You spoke about mental toughness, and before we came on the chat, I was doing some reading on you, Marnus, and I came across this article where you spoke about how important your faith is in your career and in your life. Something that is quite significant to you is the eagle, or the picture of the eagle on your bat. So when I think about mental toughness, I think about there's a belief in something higher than yourself. Because mental toughness can be explained in various ways. It can be a reliance on oneself, or it can be a reliance on something more powerful than oneself that we find our strength from. So if you think about this conversation, if you think about the people on this chat, we have this humongous faith and belief in God that allows us to do what we do, and we rely on that and we draw on that strength. And if I look at the last 18 months, and I mean, you mentioned the 5 years of hard graft in domestic cricket. I mean, that would have been something that has driven you and kept you going in such a big way.
Yeah, 100%. It's been a part of my life for a long time. So, I grew up in a Christian family. So, being, having a faith and a belief in God has been, there since the start of when I can remember. And it definitely played a big part. I remember going to the UAE and, I did all right. I actually bowled better than I batted, which probably says enough. And when I debuted, and I sort of just remember, sitting there just, going, geez, is this it? Like, surely this isn't how, it's never how you envisaged it. And I think that was one of the most important times that, faith and had a real impact, because, you sit back and you're like, well, regardless of cricket or how you're going, it's bigger than that. And I think it gives you that realization that, no matter how bad or how good you're going, that there's more important things in life and within yourself that matter more. So it's really hard to even think about. God's been there since the start for me. So it's been I've been really lucky. My wife's Christian as well, and I grew up in a Christian family, and I've got great parents on either side. My parents-in-law are amazing people, and so I'm really lucky in that sense. I've had some really good role models, not only of Christian, but also of good marriages and stuff like that, which has really been sown into my life, and I've been able to then sort of use those to really build like such a great friendship, not only with those people, but also with friends and, within my friend circle that are such great people when you're not going well. And then when you're going well, you're always sharing your success with someone or sharing your failure, and they're there to support you no matter, what your performance is or whatever, no matter how bad or how good you're going.
Yeah, man, that's amazing.
Tell us about that eagle, Marnus, on the bottom of your bat. What's it mean?
So actually, my best mate's living here now. So he gave me this eagle for my birthday one year, literally like a plastic eagle about that big, and he wrote a card. He wrote a card just in it, just sort of quoting Isaiah 40:31, and it wasn't really then, and then. Probably about a year later, I think, me and my wife were just sitting in our room and we're really just, thinking of a way that I could, have a reminder there, but making it quite discreet. And so it's not something that's necessarily in your face, but it's something that's there and that's part of who I am. And we stumbled upon this verse again. And my brother-in-law actually, then I was like, oh, mate, Matt, who his name, I was like, oh, do you reckon we could get these stickers done up so I can put them on the bottom of my bat? And so we literally just did them up and we did a batch up and did like 200 and just put them on the bottom of my bat. And that was sort of the start of it. That was really the start of sort of just that. And it was just a small thing just to have there as a reminder of, it's not something that you necessarily look down when you're batting and that you're thinking of, but it's a reminder there for you, but also, to share with people and for people to understand that it doesn't matter how big the game is or how big the moment is, that there is probably more to life than, there is more to life than whatever you're doing. And so, it was just a really nice, from obviously my best friend and my wife, and we sort of came up with this thing as a, like I was saying to you before, as a group, as a team. And, it's something that's sort of a part of me and a part of who I am now.
That's amazing. Really cool. And just to pick you up on that, the word share you used, I mean, I'm looking at the three of you now, all professional cricketers. JP just about still hanging.
You can say it.
He's not a has-been yet. He's still got some knowledge. So, I mean, you've all got great platforms, the three of you, in different ways, reaching different audiences. I'd love to know, how do you take your faith into your cricket? How do you honestly try and share that with others through the platform you've got and point people to him? Because I'm sure you're not on every interview just saying, here's the Bible, read it. But is there a way that you think, do you know what, I've got so many people following me, so many people watching my career. How do you try and just show a little bit of Jesus and your faith as pro cricketers? I'd love to know. Like, Jemmy, what about you?
I think, as you said, it's important for us, like, not to put it out in a weird way. Like, after like every, like,
that's good.
Like I really like what Manus did. Like, he put an eagle out. So definitely people's eyes are going to be on that. And that is one way of, sharing his faith. And that doesn't mean he's not even like forcing people, okay, you got to believe this. He said, no, this is something that works for me. This is my faith. And this is where, I believe in. So I think that's one of the ways you can do it out. The other way is like through your social media. I mean, we've got a lot of following on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram. So the other ways is also through that. But, I strongly believe one of the biggest ways, we can reach out to people is not through our words, but, when they see us, like how we really are. So I was reading one quote by Billy Graham. So he said that we are the Bible people read. Like nobody really reads the Bible. They see our lives and that's how they'll define, okay, this is what they believe in and this is their faith. And I think, that's the best way to kind of show people like what we believe in and who are we. So yeah, it's like more than our words, it's our actions and how we show ourselves in public, like helping others and, like loving others, serving others, like Jesus himself, even though like, he's got this high position and everything in heaven, the Bible says, knowing the Father has given him all things, he stooped down and he washed the disciples' feet. I mean, if Jesus can serve like that, then who are we? Like, so I think that's the best example we can show people, man, rather than telling them just with their actions.
Game over. Good luck, JP. Marnus following that. What she said.
All we can do is kind of follow on that. The thing that comes to me is an expression of love, and how we do that is in our relationships with people. And I always feel that, and this was something I had a conversation with once with Kirsten, who I've become very close with over the years. Obviously a magnificent coach, a World Cup winning coach, but also a really good friend and a strong Christian as well. And he often spoke to me about how he wouldn't necessarily bring up the topic, but he'll try and be, as best as he can, this strong and light in the world that will almost allow people to ask questions. So if I can put it in a different way, people often ask me, they see this peace within you, they see this comfort, this love, and like you got it all together. Well, we all know we don't, right? We are broken. We are, why else would we need Jesus, right? So we come across like we have it together. We have this peace and love about the way we go about life. And then all of a sudden people inquire about that. And that's a platform for us to kind of share Jesus' love in our lives and what he's done for us on the cross. And, what does it mean to have a relationship with God? Because the thing about our Christian walk and the faith is you'd be amazed to understand how people don't understand that it's actually a relationship, that it's a journey you walk with Christ. And that has been probably the biggest revelation in my journey with Christ, is understanding that he loves me no matter what, that he just wants to walk a journey with me. And through that journey, as in marriage, Marnus, you newly married, the deeper you go in the relationship, the stronger the relationship becomes. And it's no different in your relationship with Christ. So, it's about being the example, it's about being the light, which is very much what Jem is talking about.
Once again, just to follow on that's exactly it. The benefit I had is from a very young age, people knew where I stood straight away. So people knew that this was a part of me. So this isn't something that's sort of come in now or come in later. Since I started grade cricket when I was 14 or 13, people knew that, faith was part of who I was. And the best way, I think, exactly what you said, JP, is through relationship with people. I think, and exactly what you said, Jem, it's about being there for people, and like you said, not bringing it in a not a weird way, but like being who you are, and letting that do the talking, and understanding that people will naturally. I mean, for me, it comes up a lot in our changing room, in our different environment, because people know where I stand. So people bring it up in different situations, but people are never going to bring it up if there's no relationship, if there's no, even if they're bringing it up and it is a bit of banter and a bit of this and that, people are doing that because they're comfortable with who you are. They're comfortable with you. So people are never going to do that to someone that they think they're going to offend.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
it's really that side, and I think building a relationship with anyone and is really the key factor to potentially, you know, those conversations growing further on.
Yeah. Right, I've been excited about this next bit. I've been waiting to get someone on we can actually talk about the Ashes. So now Marnus is actually on. I'm actually allowed to talk about like England, Australia, because, you know, India, South Africa, we've been a bit biased towards them so far. So I thought it'd be really cool to have like a quick 5-minute debate about what we think the greatest rivalry in current cricket is. And I thought of two, I could be wrong, but I thought of these two. Obviously, the Ashes, England, Australia. Do we think that's the greatest rivalry on the planet in cricket? Or do we still think India versus Pakistan is a greater rivalry in the world's eyes? So I thought, obviously, Jemmy, being in that part of the world, you can stick up for India, Pakistan, and then Marnus can have a go at defending the glory of the Ashes. And JP being Mr. South Africa. I was trying to think, like, what's the South Africa big rivalry, JP? I don't want to exclude you, but, you know. Zimbabwe, South Africa, Zimbabwe.
Yeah, yeah, I guess would you say
Australia?
Yeah?
I would say, I mean, growing up in South Africa as a young kid, like, you felt like Australia was... Because, I mean, at that stage, both the teams, South Africa and Australia, were so strong.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, South Africa had the likes of, you know, Kirsten, Cullinan.
Yeah.
Jot my memory here. Donald, Pollock, Klusner.
Yeah, I would say that would definitely be...
in that era. I mean, that 99 World Cup sort of era with, like, Mark Waugh, Steve Waugh, Bevan, Ponting, McGrath.
Yeah, I would say that'll be up there. I would say England and Australia would be probably the biggest rivalries from a South African point of view. So particularly when you're going to England or to Australia, that was always the toughest tours. India was tough because you never had a chance against spin. So you kind of wrote it off before you even went. So, but you knew when you came against England and Australia, you knew that, right, this is going to be a hard-fought series.
Yeah.
And fortunately, when I played, we had some decent success in those two countries. So I definitely say that
2012?
2008? Well, let me just refresh your memory there, young man. So
you got 161 at...
Yeah, that's 2008.
That was a good
fond memories.
Yeah, 2008, and then 2012 we came back, we won again. 2016 we came back, we won again. So yeah, 3 in a row.
You set him up there, Marnus. You set him up.
No, I remember watching. I watched all of those series. Trying to think. Yeah, that 160 was it 161?
166 against at MCG.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, that got played a lot the other day for JP's birthday. That was doing the rounds.
Grey Nick back with the Grey Nick pads, blue Grey Nick pads.
Yes, that's it.
What a stylish man he was.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
The one ear. You had the one ear in the helmet.
Ah.
Yes. Yeah.
I never noticed that. That's
had
very
an earring
interesting.
in. I was a bit of a playboy.
Yeah.
I remember you had the one ear thing out of the helmet.
Yeah. I don't know why that was, but anyway.
That's weird. Yeah. Right, Jemmy.
Yeah.
Give us a bit of perspective. India, Pakistan. What does it mean? Do you think it outdoes the Ashes?
I'm not sure right now, but you know, if you go like a few years before, I think the rivalry was even more than what it is now. Now things have become a little more better, but it's because of the partition India and Pakistan had. So there was already, even before cricket was there was already this kind of, you know, rivalry between the two countries. And also, even till today, like, there are fights going on that, okay, Kashmir is India's or Pakistan. Like there's still this fights going on.
Yeah.
So basically, actually, the rivalry started from there. And then people have taken it on even in the cricket match. And cricket in India means it's like a religion, as people say. So like people take cricket very seriously. Literally, people actually tell us do anything but don't lose against Pakistan. So this is what kind of messages we get. So already there's a lot of things, but I would say it's such a big rivalry, not just because not on the field, but mainly because of the crowd over there. I mean, the crowd go crazy in India-Pakistan match more than the people. I think, like, yes, definitely there'll be those exchange of words, that kind of aggression and all coming up. But I think it's the crowd that makes this such a big rivalry. But things have gotten much better than what it was, when all, like, Rahul Dravid and all these guys used to play.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I actually remember my teammates telling me when they played the 2017 World Cup, like, literally in the stands, there were two separate groups. India this side, Pakistan this side, and they were fighting against each other. And the match is going on. I'm like, what's happening, man? So that's the kind of rivalry. Yeah, that's the kind of rivalry.
Yeah, that's on another level. I mean, it's definitely the most watched cricket match. India-Pakistan, just absolutely bonkers. But it must be lovely to be Indian right now, because Pakistan are, in terms of when you actually play them, you smash them every time at the minute. So on that score, it's maybe not a red hot rivalry, but like you said, it's full of history, isn't it?
Right, I agree with that.
Okay, so what are we saying then? Final score. I think Ashes just wins.
Ashes, yeah.
Well, you still got it.
I haven't even.
Yeah, you still got to
the Ashes.
Oh, sorry, mate. I thought you were just a foregone conclusion.
Yeah. So Ashes. Well, I mean, my fondest memories and my clearest memories, what was it 05, 06, 5-0.
Oh yeah.
Not surprising that I remember that one.
No, of course.
I mean, I've always watched the Ashes. You never miss the Ashes. I think you would have read about it. But I was actually working for Channel 9 in 2011, I think, when Peter Siddle got his hat trick at the Gabba.
Okay.
I was doing hotspot from the side on angle. I was like moving the camera each over to the batsman.
Wow.
And I remember watching that hat trick, and I've never heard a crowd so loud in my life. When Peter Siddle got Stuart Broad LBW, and so there's so much history in the Ashes. I mean, you think back. There's so many. I just think back at like the dismissals. You think of so many, Warner Gadding or Warner Strauss when he tried to leave it and got bowled around his legs. I actually came up on my phone yesterday, and I found myself watching the 2009 Ashes or something.
Of course.
Or 2009, or was it?
You would be, wouldn't you?
Actually, no. This morning I watched something. It came up. Kevin Peterson was playing these unbelievable slog sweeps off Warnie, and he got 100 in the last test of the series. I mean, you just watch those, those innings, and you're like, wow, and then taking you in when I was a part of it, I've never seen anything like it when we played at Edgbaston in my life. It was actually, it was crazy. I think if you've seen a bit of the documentary, the loudness of the crowd, how intense it was. I mean, how intense it was within our changing room. And then, for obviously Steve to get 100 in both innings. It's just incredible how that whole series, to be a part of it. I actually said, now that there's actually, I'm not playing cricket, I've actually had time to actually sort of sit back and actually just appreciate that series for how good it was. I mean, because I'm a big cricket lover. I love the game. I watch cricket a lot. So to actually be able to sit back and watch that series, not necessarily as a player, but as a viewer, has been really good.
I feel like we could talk about these things. Like you just mentioned the documentary. I was like, of course, the documentary. Like Marnus is now a TV star as well. He's joining Jemmy in getting his own spin-off show soon. JP, have you seen it yet, JP?
I haven't, no. But what it was, I mean, I've come across a few people that have spoken about it, and they've spoken about how significant the turnaround was. If you think back to Newlands, the incident there, and how Justin Langer was such an integral part in turning things around, particularly in the culture. So it's definitely on the radar to watch and see the significance of everyone in that squad.
Yeah, Marnus comes out pretty rosy. Marnus has a very good. He just comes in like Superboy and saves the day, basically. It's very well done. Was it weird, Marnus, them like filming in your dressing room and you wanting to be natural? Obviously, you want to be normal, but there must have been times where you thought, hang on, there's a camera here, rein it in,
Yeah,
boys.
I was also having the same question. Yeah. Means when we would be like, okay, we can't speak stuff, we can't like just be ourselves, we have to be very careful because there's always a camera. So, I mean, how is that like?
It's actually a good example. Early on, when they started filming, it was a little bit strange, but we have a really good relationship with, there was only one camera guy in there. And we called him the Doc. So the Doc, we became, we would have coffee with the Doc. We would, go, he just became part of the team. So he was part of the team. So it wasn't ever like, especially after probably that initial stage, it was a lot like, you didn't even see the camera. You were just, you were just being you, whatever time the camera was on. So there wasn't ever that like, that hold back. I mean, there was definitely stuff that probably wasn't aired.
Yeah.
That was, but that's what happens when you have a guy that travels with you for 2 years straight and doesn't miss one meeting, one anything. So he's part of every meeting, everything within the Australian dressing room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought maybe 80% of your takes, Marnus, didn't make it because you were throwing bats around, or they're like, nope, that can't make it.
Not a big bat thrower. Actually, funny. Matt Maynard, my coach from Glamorgan, said he watched the documentary and he messaged me a couple of nights ago. He said, well done on the documentary. Note to self: don't throw your bat. It's not his fault. So he was fun. But like you said, I'm not a too big of a blow up person. So maybe the odd helmet throw, the odd sort of bat, lob onto my bag. But usually, unless I've done something stupid, then sometimes there's a few more. Bit more frustration.
Well, it's a lot easier, isn't it?
Run out.
It's a lot easier when you score 100 after 100 after 100. You don't have to worry about taking your pads off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was about to ask. Generally, we have a few questions from some fans. What have you got for us today, the Big Doug?
The quiz master. I'm going to start with Marnus because there's a theme here. Mm-hmm. Lots of people, I mean, obviously, the whole of India basically wants Marnus to come and play in the IPL. So I'm going to basically merge all these questions together. And there's a general sense here, Marnus. They're all saying, how are you feeling about your T20 game? Is it a priority? Will we see you in the IPL? Or is Test one day more your natural thing?
Obviously, I think every player would love to play in the IPL. I don't think that's there's no doubt, that's a part of my game I'd love to sort of expand upon more. The nature of the situation is I haven't played a lot of T20 cricket, just with the amount of, especially now, this summer, I think I'm almost available for one domestic T20 game next summer if I'm playing one-day cricket and Test cricket. So, there's not many opportunities in T20 cricket, but I think that's why, the one-day game and T20 can sort of merge a little bit and I can sort of use a little bit of that one-day performance and one-day game to potentially develop more of that T20 sort of finishing part of the innings. But, it's definitely something I want to work on and improve. But, for me, it's just a journey. You take it all in the stride and for me, that you can't try and jump in and try and perform in all three formats. You just take it in your stride and make sure you can sort of crawl before you walk. So just don't get greedy.
Yeah.
So I've actually got a follow-up, if I can, there, Liam.
Oh, go on then.
I thought I'll ask this question on behalf of Jem.
Uh-huh.
So you played a few games with her favorite player, AB de Villiers. What was that like? Yeah, what was that like?
One of my favourite players too, so that makes two of us. It was very good. It was awesome. Playing with AB, it was a bit. I was obviously a bit nervous when I first had to meet him because I was like, oh, it's AB. I grew up watching AB for since he was wearing black long skins in Test match cricket, like carving balls over backward point off the front foot.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was awesome. When I got to bat with him, I got to bat with him at the MCG in the Melbourne Stars were playing, and I think me and him put on about 50 runs or something around there. And it was awesome to sort of see how he goes about the game. One of the best things I really loved about him is his sheer confidence that he could hit. Like I remember being out there and I'm sort of get to the crease and I'm just trying to get AB on strike because it's like it's a no-brainer. He's smacking him. I'll just get get him on strike, and just his confidence to know that he can clear the boundary and hit the ball wherever. And I think even him just sort of being at the other end and we're talking and he's sort of saying just be still and sort of, giving you sort of cues as your batting partners do. So it was really good. And then getting to spend a little bit of time with him off the field and him and his wife, Danielle.
Danielle, yep.
Yeah, it was great. They're lovely people. So it was really nice to get to know him and play with him. It was it was very special.
Awesome.
Now, if you do make it to the IPL, Marnus, I'm pretty sure Jemmy's going to be like, Mumbai Indians. Come on.
Yeah, definitely. I'll use my contacts. I'll try and use my contacts.
Yeah. Okay, Jem. I think there's obviously a theme here because you're about to be a star on the internet with your new show. Jemmy, when are you going to come and do something in Bollywood?
Bollywood, actually the question has finally changed from marriage proposals to Bollywood. So I don't know where people are going to take this now. Man, Bollywood is like, I've never even imagined Bollywood and all. I'm not such a good actress also to reach Bollywood. I think what I'm doing on social media is enough. So no, man, no Bollywood, not thought about
Jemmy,
it.
you got to start somewhere.
I think I'll just play cricket because I'm good at playing cricket and not acting.
I had a stint with Shah Rukh Khan once on stage.
Oh.
Did you?
Yeah. It was in Durban. It was India played South Africa, and they raised some funds for some charity, and he came and performed live. Obviously, Durban has the biggest population of Indians outside of India itself, and he came and did a live show. Myself, Harbhajan, and I think one or two others was on stage with him performing and dancing. Look, it wasn't my most glamorous moment, but I did have a day in the life of Shah Rukh Khan. Can you believe it?
Wow. Everyone's now going, all the Indian listeners are going crazy. Okay. Last but not least, JP.
Yeah, mate.
Of course, there's been a bit of a theme in recent years. Lots of South African-born players going and playing for other countries. Present company accepted.
Yeah.
If you could take back any of those exports who've gone to play for other nations and qualified, and bring them back to South Africa, which player would you bring home? There's been some classics.
So I'm not going to put him on the spot. So Marnus will be one, but let's look outside of Marnus.
Kevin?
Yeah, I guess he would be somebody that will be in my top three.
Yeah,
he's thought about this.
I'm trying to think.
Where are we going with this? So you got Kevin Peterson, you've got Marnus, you've got Jonathan Trott.
Trotty. I didn't know Trotty.
Isn't Jason Roy Curran brothers, all of them?
Curran brothers, yes. They went to school in Durban. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Marnus, man. Just because we're mates now,
That's why he wanted you on so badly.
He's playing his cards well.
I play my cards well, yeah.
Just subtly.
Yeah, but we've there's a few guys, I guess, that we've lost in a way, for various reasons. I mean, if you think even from a Kolpak perspective, I mean, if you broaden the scope to a Kolpak perspective, there's some really, really good players that have, for their own reasons, have gone that route and have done amazing things, particularly in the UK. Carl Abbott is a really good mate of mine.
Riley,
he's done.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Riley Rousseau.
Riley Rousseau, Simon Harmer. There's a few names.
There's heaps, isn't there?
Well, we've reached the end. We've grilled Marnus. I mean, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it has been.
No, it has been. No, it's been very nice.
And it goes without saying, Marnus, we'll obviously get you back on.
At this stage, hopefully everything returns to normal soon, and we can. I think we're meant to tour South Africa in March
next year. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we got 3 test series there.
Okay. Cool.
In March. So that'll be that's one to look forward to. We've got India coming up in November here, home India series. Then South Africa, and then, well, who knows what's going to happen then. So it's a bit, with the Test Championship and everything. So hopefully, and then we hopefully be at Lords.
Yeah.
Come
on. Yeah, I'll be cheering.
Hopefully we just get some cricket back somewhere soon.
Yeah.
I think that's what everyone's hoping for. Maybe just sport in general, not even just cricket.
Yeah, exactly. That is the dream. Right, Jemmy, as the king of our social media, can you just tell everyone where they can find us and follow us?
Yes, so guys, you can find us and follow us on YouTube and on Spotify too. And are we on iTunes, right?
Yeah, we're on everything.
Sorry. So I think we are everywhere right now, guys. So please let us know, how do you feel listening to our podcast. We are open for, any comments, and we would love to hear from you all how we can get better and how we can reach out to you all. So
preach it. And we'll obviously be hoping for a wave of Australian supporters now we've got Marnus on board as well.
And South African.
Sounds good.